going on, guys? It's Lawrence Owen, obviously, and it's Patreon. Patreon day. Yay! Wednesday, 8 p.m. Finally get to talk Patreon. Oh, look, I got somebody joining us. What up?
Hey, how's it going?
My voice a little out of it. I've been kind of busy the last, we all know, really. So my voice is kind of in and out, so you have to bear with me on that.
It's all right.
But so I talked to Gerard. That's why we haven't had Believe in a while. He's been really busy, plus with my stuff. I'm going to do a Believe episode by Thursday. Whether he can join or not, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm probably going to talk about and break down what the Colts can do with their salary cap, how much space they can make if they need to, for multiple reasons, obviously, signing people, extending people, things of that nature, whatever they need to do. They have plenty of options to do that with.
Right.
I'll probably reach out to a couple people, see if they want to join if Gerard can't come in, and kind of discuss that a little bit on the Believe show. Ain't heard from Loyalist in a little while. I know he's been working a lot.
Right.
12-hour days. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, so do I. Very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So yesterday I went out to our park, our city park, the big one, to meet with the Parks and Recreation lady for the city to do a memorial bench for my father.
Right.
She completely spaced the meeting.
That's nice.
I sat there for an hour and a half.
That's nice.
Right. I called her, left a message. She texts me this morning and admitted she just spaced it and that she was sorry. And we rescheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m. So hopefully she don't space tomorrow and
kidding.
Get that taken care of.
I'd shoot her a text first thing in the morning and say,
I'm going to. At 9, I'm sending a text.
Yeah.
Yo, because she texted me, so I got her phone number now.
That's right. So hey, I'll be there at 10. Are you going to be there?
Right. But, so that'll be taken care of. A lot of the stuff is kind of now in my rear view mirror, and now it's time for me to kind of start looking forward, start thinking about different shows and topics and things to discuss. And I know that a lot of people have ridden a lot of topics to the ground. So
I'll be honest with you, my friend, this past week, I have stayed off social. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. I haven't paid attention to it because anything you hear, it's an outright lie. No one's telling the truth. No one knows exactly what they're going to do. So why listen to it? I don't care. I mean, there's no reason to listen to it.
No, we can speculate. Just remember, it's all speculation.
Oh, yeah.
No one knows what Ballard. Everybody's like, well, Irsay's the one pulling the trigger. No.
He's out freeing whales or something. Hell, he's...
Yeah. So this is all about, Ballard and Steichen figuring out what they're going to do this month in the draft. And there's so many we've had that discussion last week. There's so many directions they can go. So many.
I mean, I was glad to see, I saw where they did go to out in California to work out Stroud and Young, as they should, because hell, you never know.
Well, that workout is more, apparently they had that planned from the get-go because it's more personal then going to the pro days or
Right.
the combine or whatnot,
Right.
So that's good.
Right.
That's basically a top 30 visit they're using on them.
And
So
they should. I mean, their quarterback,
mhm.
you never know. We don't know for sure. Hell, Houston could take a defensive guy. You never know. You know, you you just don't.
That'd
And
be kind of scary to see Houston grab. Like I said, if they feel good, because I mean, the quarterback they have now is young and adequate. Now
right,
he's never going to be a top 10 guy, I don't think, but he's an adequate quarterback, and they might look to, hey, we need to replace JJ Watt from along. We haven't had anyone like him since then, and Will
well, and
Anderson's right freaking there in our lap.
well, and you think about it, they've got not only do they have the second pick, but they got the 12th pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so they could very easily they could take Will Anderson with number 2, use that 12th pick and something else to trade back up further into the back into the first round.
And maybe end up getting Anthony Richardson,
right, and grabbing that quarterback that they want. Very well, easy could do that.
And they could have Anthony Richardson sit behind the quarterback, Mills right now,
right.
For a little while until he gets up to NFL speed. I mean, that seems like a logical move for the Texans in reality.
Very well could be.
But
I just hope if we stick with 4, if we stay at 4, I see us straighten up at 3. I really do. If they want a quarterback, if they want one of the rookie quarterbacks, I see them trying to trade up to 3, but I don't see it happening probably until draft night. And if that happens, and they would get, they could probably, I think they would go with Anthony Richardson. But if they don't, if they stay at 4, hell, who knows? Who knows what they'll do?
No, there's no, I mean, we don't know. We just don't. The only time we were pretty darn sure what Ballard was going to do was that 2018 draft with Quentin Nelson.
Right.
But we didn't realize he was going to trade back and then get him.
No.
I mean, good Lord,
No.
But,
well, in that draft, I mean, I remember when they picked Darius Leonard. I'd never heard of him. I was like, who the hell? Who's this? You're wasting a second-round pick on this guy? Who is this guy?
I had seen him, and I knew that a lot of people had him registered as like a 5th rounder,
right.
6th rounder, 5th rounder, 4th rounder, around in that general vicinity. Undersized,
right.
Is what they called him. Really fast, long arms, athletic, but undersized.
Right.
But
he fits the linebacker bill here at the Colts.
And then, of course, the combine, when he ran like what, a 4.7 something, 4.89, I think, or some crap like that. He ran a really slow 40.
Right.
And people that dropped him majorly. But he pulled a hamstring. I mean, come on,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Things like that happen. It didn't come out. People didn't talk about it, but he did. He was injured when he ran the 40,
right.
And stuff like that happens. So that's why I don't put a lot of stock in combine or pro days, especially pro days, especially speed on pro days, because the clickers at the pro days are all about giving their guys a little bit extra, half a,
well,
tenth of a second or something,
You and I both know there's a difference between speed and game speed.
Game speed, yeah.
That game speed, that shows up on the tape.
Well, game speed, it's how well you can move around in your pads and helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, it's reaction.
Right.
It's
reaction
how
time.
quickly you react to what's happening on the field.
Right.
So, that is more that plays a big part in everyone, that's on the field. So,
right.
You're absolutely right on that.
So it's like I just decided, in lieu of going into a medically induced coma until April 27th, I would just kind of not pay attention to it, unless there's some big news that drops, like we've traded for Lamar or we've done this or whatever. I'm just not going to pay attention to it. We'll just see what happens.
And I don't think a trade for Lamar would happen. I don't think any team would trade for Lamar until draft day or after draft.
Somebody brought up a proposition where they felt that it was possible where the Ravens could trade Lamar for our 4th round pick to get Anthony Richardson, because they have this system in place for a quarterback like that to exist and run.
Yeah, it is possible, because also, if you think about it, they know that not too many teams, if any, is willing to give up the contract plus 2 first-round picks.
Right.
Because that's what it would take to sign it that way. They still can trade him.
Sure.
But the problem is
he would have to sign that
trade
tag
to happen. The team that's wanting to make the trade,
right,
they would have to have an agreement with the Ravens and an agreement already on the board with Lamar.
Right.
In order to make that trade happen. So
yeah, because he would have to sign Baltimore's tag for them to be able to trade him. So,
and then with the knowledge of what the contract the other team already has on the table for him.
Right.
Right.
It would take all 3 parties working together to get something like that done.
Yeah.
That's a lot of moving parts. It depends. Does Baltimore are they fed up with it and done messing with him?
From what I understand, they are preparing to start the season without Lamar Jackson.
Well,
whether he is still sitting out or whether he's traded.
Right.
They are preparing for that. So,
well, I saw where they brought in, they visited Anthony Richardson. So, who knows? Who knows? There's so much smoke going on out there.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Nope.
Nobody knows. And nobody's going to know until that night.
Yep. I'll guarantee you that maybe 1 in 20 people, maybe 1 in 100 people will have the first 5 picks right, like in order. Maybe 1 out of 100.
1 of 100 or 1 of 500.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's that. I mean, we've seen it where we're like, oh, surely they're taking a quarterback here, and then bam, linebacker.
Right.
We've seen just recently. We've seen it.
Right.
So, I mean, we all didn't think that the Texans was going to take that linebacker.
Right.
So, or no, not the Texans. Jacksonville.
Right.
No one's seen that happening.
No. So, I mean, and Arizona is the key there. No one knows really what they're going to do. Or they want to stay in place and get one of those defensive guys?
That's what I think they should do.
They should, but they need so much help.
Yeah.
Do they trade out of it to get more picks? It's who knows?
I don't know. If I was in Arizona's shoes, I wouldn't move. I wouldn't take offers. Unless the offer was to move like to 6 or 7,
Right.
And that way they knew that they still have a shot at, say, like Jalen Carter.
Right.
Maybe Will Anderson would still be there at 6 or 7.
Well, I think that's where we would have kind of the better opportunity to trade with him if we wanted it to get up to 3. Where, look, if you want Will Anderson, you're going to get Will Anderson at 4. If we jump up and take 3, I mean, plain and simple, you're going to get him.
But they would take. It would be a much bigger haul to trade back to, say, 6 or 7 than it would be to trade back to 4. Trading back to 4, they might get a 2nd round pick out of it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Probably not even this year's, maybe next year's.
Right. Next year's 2nd round.
Yeah, because they
know
that nothing that the Colts are going to do is going to interfere with what they want to do.
Right. And I don't know if they would, I don't know what kind of relationship the Colts have with their front office where those two could talk and say, look, we are planning on staying here at 3. We're not going anywhere. So you guys don't have to worry about a team jumping up and trading. I don't know if talks like that happen, go on. I don't know.
I don't think you really have. I don't think you could, hold water on talks like that anyhow.
Right.
If you're a GM and you're talking to Arizona could be bullshitting the hell out of it. You don't know.
Well,
They might have ulterior motives.
Well, and if somebody offered, hey, I'll give you 3 first-round picks to move for that third pick. Oh yeah, you'd be stupid not to.
Right.
So
at this point, if I don't know, man. At this point, if say someone at 15 said, "Hey, Colts, we'll give you 3 first-round picks to do it right now," no, not even a question.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, there's no guy in this draft worth 3 first-round picks.
Right.
Except
if you got 3,
maybe the defensive players.
Right. If you got 3 first-round picks, then you knew you'd have the draft capital next year to move up and get one of those quarterbacks that are coming out.
The issue is, see, everybody is saying, here's what I'm hearing a lot of pushback. They're saying whoever has the first pick next year,
right,
in next year's draft is not going to trade it because they're going to take Caleb Williams. They're not going to trade it. If they already have their quarterback, then they trade. If it's the Chargers with the first pick.
Right.
I'm not saying that, they're going to have the work, but it's possible they could have a terrible season with injuries or something like that, or the Niners, terrible season with injuries or something, and they're set. They got their quarterback. They're not going to pick a quarterback. They would legitimately be willing to trade it off.
Right.
Granted, it would be a lot of draft capital.
Oh yeah.
Because they would have offers lined up like crazy, and it'd just be a bidding war.
Right. But those things that can backfire too. I mean, look at San Francisco. What they give up to move up to 3
to get Lance,
to take Trey Lance, and hell, he's played what? He hasn't played at all.
Yep.
What was that? 3 years ago or 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
All right. So,
But yeah, agreed. That's why I'm like, all these guys in this draft right now are very similar to those style of players, like the Trey Lances and stuff like that,
Right.
And so I
there's only one scenario that I don't want to see, and I don't care what anything else happens. If we don't get a quarterback this year, I mean, I trust those. I trust the front office. They know what the hell they're doing. They're not dumbasses. They
went and got Gardner Minshew for a reason.
Exactly. They know exactly what their plan is and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I do not want to see is if for some damn reason Tennessee would jump ahead of us in 3 to take the guy that we were planning on getting. That would piss me off.
No, here's the thing. There is absolutely there's one guy there's no way on God's green earth Tennessee would move up to get, and that's Anthony Richardson. Because they already have an Anthony Richardson on
Malik Willis, right.
Yeah. So that's one guy you don't have to worry about.
Okay.
Because they pretty much have that on their team already. So, but if they're looking to get up to get a pass rusher, I mean,
right.
They're looking for a defensive player. That's quite possible. I mean, we all know that Vrabel is a defensive guy. I'm about to punch these cats in the. I can't throw that one. I'll throw this one. Get your. Ooh, got him right now. Yeah. I'll have to go get that football. I picked up the first one. I'm like, no. That's Michael Pittman Jr.
We're not throwing that one. Nope, we're not throwing that one.
I'm not throwing that one.
No, that's possible. They could trade up to get something like that. I can see that.
or if at 3 somehow, Young is still there at 3.
Right.
I could see him going to get Young because Young is the complete opposite of Malik Willis, quarterback wise. So, and then they'd have multiple options at quarterback.
Do you think Stroud's going to go number 1? Do you think he'll go to the Panthers?
I know that Chuck was saying, because of the agent, the same agent
with Deshaun.
Yeah, and all that situation. But I don't think that would be a thing. It might be a little thing, but not enough to dissuade anybody. I think they would.
Well, the agent's not playing in Houston. It's the player that's playing in Houston.
But here's the thing. I think CJ Stroud's going to the Panthers.
I do too. And I think Bryce Young is going to Houston.
Yep. So that's
that would be my guess if I had to choose right now.
Maybe.
And if Arizona stays at 3 and grabs a defensive guy, then I say we get Anthony Richardson at 4.
I mean, I'm not going to take away the option. I mean, when it comes to scouting, Ballard, I don't know, man. He likes to say one thing and do another at times. Throw, like you say, throw the smoke out,
Oh, yeah. He's damn good at it.
We talked about it. He said he's going to get the best player in the draft.
Right.
At 4. In the entire draft at 4. And
that's ding, 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 defense.
That's defense.
Yeah. Here we go. Colts Nation's going to have a heart attack.
Yes,
here we go.
But I still say that if they do that is almost a surefire giveaway that they've already talked to Baltimore and Lamar.
Right.
Or something of that matter. I mean, it could be something completely out in left field too.
Right. So we have no idea.
Quarterback out there that they've kept so far under the table, no one's even sniffed it, and it hasn't hit the surface yet.
That's possible. That's very possible. Very possible.
I mean, when they want to keep things under wraps, they do a pretty damn good job at doing that. So,
oh yeah, I would just say I'm leaning towards Richardson. They would go just the simple fact that with Morocco Brown being there at his pro day, that kind of hints at a little, because they just don't go to pro. If they go to pro days, that's I don't know. But then I see a thing on, again, I try to stay not looking at it, but I saw a thing just before I got on here on Twitter where the damn Colts plane was in Gainesville again today. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, here we go. I don't want to hear it.
Well,
but they're supposed to, they are bringing in Richardson for one of the top 30 visits here at Indy. They're bringing him in here along with Levis. So, as they should. I really don't want Levis, though. There's something about that kid. I don't know what it is. There's just something about him.
I'd be more inclined to take Levis right now than I would Jalen Carter.
Yeah, either one. There's something. Yeah.
Because Jalen Carter, okay, so he already had, the whole issues with the racing and the accident and all that crap. And then now he's got this thing where he's only taking calls and visits with top 10 teams because that's where he's going to be picked. And that is awfully self-centered. And because what if a team wanted to trade up? You can't. I mean, here's the thing. And they're like, if a team's willing to trade up to get him, then that's a different story. Well, you've already put out that he's only going to visit top 10 guys.
Right.
If it comes out that he's visiting a team that has the 18th pick of the draft, now you already, established that team is about to trade up or willing to trade up to go get him.
Right.
So that pretty much drops their cards on the freaking table by you opening your damn mouth in the first place.
Right.
So I don't see that happening. And that's a selfish thing that, that doesn't speak very well on his character, in my opinion. And
I'm really surprised his agent put that out there, because his agent is Drew Rosenhaus.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus, hell, he's been doing this for years.
He's not dumb,
And they said, which makes sense, that he's probably got, guarantee of, look, like they used like Philadelphia as an example. They're picking 10th. Philadelphia has contacted Drew and said, hey, if your guy falls to 10th and we're taking him at 10, regardless, we're taking him because we got rid of one of our defensive tackles. We lost him to San Francisco. We want this kid. Plus, I guess he's got a teammate that played with him last year that's on Philadelphia this year. So he's got, and I could see that, but your scenario is right. If a team wanted to trade up, well, guess what? They're not doing it now.
No, because you've done, you have the visit, and then all of a sudden,
Yep,
your cards are on the table.
Do teams have to report those top 30 visits?
You have a list, and you have to put it into the NFL, and the NFL then releases that information as a top 30 visit. So,
can teams meet with players, kids, outside of top 30 visits, just like somewhere, just to meet with them and talk with? Can they do that? Are they supposed to do it?
Yeah, you're not allowed to do stuff like that. Not legally. That's like colleges going over to, that whole, we'll take care of you if you come to our,
Well, damn good well it happens.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it's against the rules.
Well, I'm sure their team is talking to their agent, and that's how they communicate with them. But I don't know. I would love to be a fly on the wall on West 56th Street and just listen what they're doing, what they're talking about, who they're talking about. Well, I mean, I'm looking at it too beyond the first pick. It's like, what are they doing with number 35? What are they doing with, their third round pick? We got so many holes on this roster. It's not even funny.
See, that's the problem with 35. At that point, you have a list of probably 10 people,
Yep.
And if any of those fall, then you go to that and you go, okay, which one is higher on my list?
Right.
And you
highest on the board. Yep. Because
You got to run your big board. You got to.
Yep.
And if you got two guys that are equal, that are sitting at your pick, and one of them is a position of need, that's when you take it. The position of need. Otherwise, you take the BPA.
Right. Yep. As a fan, I would love to be able to sit in there on draft night. I would love. There's Waldorf.
Yeah, I'm back.
What's up, Trouble?
Well, I don't know. Seriously, cyberspace. You spend 2 hours writing a letter and it disappears on you.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. I've had it. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my.
like, well, I got time to write this now because you guys are coming up. I've spent 15 minutes on the phone with the loan company, not my loan company, a loan company that I asked for some information. You know how that is.
Yeah. So what I do, and I'll give you a little piece of advice. When I write out a letter that's going to be really long, and I'm afraid of a refresh or something of that nature that would wipe it all out, I open up my notepad and write it there first. And then it's just a simple copy and paste. That way
Yep.
you don't lose it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's just too easy. Yeah. You're right. I should have. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, you know,
I wasn't thinking.
it took me probably 4 or 5 times of going through what you just talked about for me to go,
oh,
I'm going to do this.
It makes sense to do that. Exactly.
I'll take your advice next time I have to do that. I will say, hey, wait a minute. Mark said notepad. What a good idea that will be. You know, when you sit down and you're composing a letter to somebody and stuff like that, it was actually longer than 2 hours that it took me. I didn't realize that until I looked at the clock and found out it was actually 6:37 and not 5:37. It was actually closer to 3 hours, but oh well, I got nothing to do when we get off here. I'll just do it again or do it tomorrow. So it's not like I got to go to work. You know, nobody's pressing my ass for nothing. So anyway, so what's happening, guys? What are we talking about? Anything in particular?
Not really. Just kind of a little bit about the draft and the different shit that could happen. You know,
basically saying that nobody knows what the hell they're going to do.
I would say it's the same guessing game we talked about last week, right?
Yeah,
right.
Nobody knows.
We don't know shit.
I've stayed off social media. I've tried to this week because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear all the bullshit. I don't want to hear all the, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's like, yep, you don't know. They don't know. I don't know.
They ain't got a freaking clue.
Nope.
Nope. They just like to throw stuff out.
Yep.
And when I was coming onto here, I happened to poke my MSN and it said big trade and I'm coming on Saturday or Sunday night. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the one from last week. I hadn't been in my MSN account since last week.
Right.
You know, that was supposed to be the Lamar coming to Indy. I'm like, now wait a minute. I guess I need to. Since a while back when I had my cable and everything cut off, and I realized I was living a happier life. Not living in the fucking news anymore. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I instead of getting up now and turning on and doing something stupid like turning on the news, I get up now and because I got a package deal to get my internet. It was actually cheaper for me to get basic cable to get my internet and phone than it was for me to just get the internet and phone.
Right.
I said, well, okay, you're going to throw in basic cable. Well, basic cable's pretty damn basic, but the internet feeds my TV, and I've got all kinds of free channels on my TV from LG. I've been watching movies all week long, you know, for nothing. They get a commercial every once in a while, a nice waterfall, and I go to sleep while the waterfall's going for 2 minutes until the movie comes back on and gets loud. But now I'm like, you know what, Jack? You are a lot happier. I'm a lot happier, man. When I ended up calling emergency the 911 last week, and they came here, they were amazed. My blood pressure was 127/70. They were amazed. So was I. But you know. I know not watching the news every day has reduced my blood pressure. I know probably 10 points.
Easily.
I got the internet. I got access to news at my disposal, just a click away. And I have stayed away from it my whole life.
Yeah, well, I was bad about watching it, but
I'm so good at just glancing over. Is it something I'm interested in? No. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
I can't remember the last time I sat and actually watched the news. It's been years.
I try to stay away from anything. Political stuff, all that.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit, kind of like the draft. It's all bullshit. Nobody knows what the hell. They're all lying. None of them know what the hell they're doing. Shit.
Lion Ryan. Yeah, we have a radio personality here in town. He's been on. I was listening to him when I was 5-6 years old, and he's still on the radio. He showed up when I was working at the base at the museum. He showed up out there one day, and as soon as he opened his mouth, I knew who it was by the voice.
Right.
And he came in and he started. He said his name. He said, "My name is Larry." And I went, "Ryan." I said, "Dude, I've been listening to you since you were on Teal Radio back in 63, 64 when we moved here." I said, "Yeah, we still call you Lion Ryan." He just laughed. And I said, "And I bet the guy next to you is Mr. Weather." And he looked at me and he went, "How'd you know?" I said, "Well, with Larry, there's you.
Right.
They've been a pair on the radio. Like I said, we got here in '63, and I know he's on the radio then. So anyway, Lion Ryan, yeah, that's what we call him.
Well,
I saw something. You know what? I saw something really crazy yesterday. Okay, or last night. I know back in the day, we'll go back in the day down here in Shreveport, we had our professional football team, which was a Canadian Football League team called the Shreveport Pirates. And I'm watching the movie last night. I'd never seen the whole movie. I'd only seen the very end of it, of Any Given Sunday.
Right.
Okay, that was made in '98.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the movie, and it shows it in the locker room, and there was like a guy, looked like he was like leaning up against a corner in the wall, outside corner. And a guy walked by him, and when the guy walked by him, I saw this face, and I went, I know that guy. He was our kicker for the Shreveport Pirates. and so I waited for the ending credits, and sure enough, it was him. I don't know if you ever remember, I don't know, you may or may not remember the name Bjorn Nitmo. He kicked for the Giants. He kicked for us for 2 years. He kicked for the Chiefs for a couple years, and then he went about all the various. Anyway, but I see, and it's just he's on about that long, but he always wore his hat backwards, always, and he always had a little scruffy beard and that kind of stuff. Like I said, just a quick flash when the guy walked by, I went, that was Bjorn. And damn sure if it wasn't. So, yeah, he ended up getting so many concussions that it screwed his life up big time. Big time. He ended
I'm surprised that there was more than one Bjorn that ever played football in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, this was back in the early '90s because he was here from 94, 95 when we had the Pirates here. And he kicked for the Giants before that. He's the only Swedish. Well, what were they talking about? I guess he's the only Swedish kicker that played a full season for an NFL team.
Well, I know the Bjorn we had.
Yeah.
Is the most famous. One of the most famous people in Germany right now.
Oh, Bjorn. Yeah.
Bjorn Warner.
Yeah.
He is one of the most famous people in Germany right now just because he did play.
Really?
Yep. I got some German friends that live in Germany, and they talk about him quite a bit.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked up Bjorn last night, and they actually ESPN. There's a YouTube video called "Finding Nitmo" that was done in 2017, and it gives a story and about him and what happened. But when they talked about that he played in the CFL, but that's all they said. They didn't mention the name of the team. Later on, they showed a photograph of his two daughters sitting in his lap. He's wearing a Shreveport Pirate T-shirt. I knew his two kids and his wife back then. Yeah, got his autograph on my pirate flag and on my pirate helmet, along with Forrest Gregg.
Bjorn Nitmo.
I don't know if Forrest Gregg is a familiar name, but it is to me, of course, because I saw him play. But he was our coach for the 2 years that they were here. So I got an NFL Hall of Famer sign my Canadian Football League helmet.
There you go. Don't find many of those out there.
No, you don't. Sure don't. Sure don't. Warren Moon would be about the only other one I could think of.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I saw Doug Flutie play a couple of times. Because they played. We split games between there and here, so you'd see everybody every year. I miss that. I miss those guys, man. I miss that team. That was a lot of fun. These people around here don't have any freaking brains. Well, they don't support anything around here. We supported a minor league hockey team longer than they supported anything else. Yeah, we still have a minor league hockey team now. It's been here since '97. It came the year the Pirates left in '95, and the hockey team came here in '97.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember one of the very first football games I ever watched was the game with the famous Hail Mary versus Miami from Flutie.
Yeah.
Yep. Back in
84.
84. Yeah.
I was up in Indianapolis visiting my stepson and went over to my uncle's house. That's the reason the Colts ended up in Indianapolis, I think, it's because of him. I blamed it on him. Over, my folks had gone up there, and I went over to my uncle's house, and my uncle and my dad, we sat there, we watched that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it too.
Weird. I always blame my Uncle Elmer for the Colts moving to Indianapolis.
Tell him I said thank you.
Right.
He was head of the head of security at Memorial Stadium, and he left Indianapolis, or he left Baltimore in '83.
There you go.
He worked for Pinkerton Security, and they transferred him to Indianapolis. And a few months later, here comes the Colts. Yeah.
Oh, they knew what was going on.
I'm telling you, it's what I thought. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember that day. I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember it too. I remember them talking about, they're going to change the name to the Indianapolis 500s and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, no, they're not.
Yeah, Well, it's like my dad. My dad asked me, "Well, what are you going to do now that the Colts have moved to Indianapolis?" I said, "As long as they keep the little blue horseshoe and name Colts, I'm good."
Doesn't matter what city they play
I don't care. Yeah, they could play Mexico. I don't give a crap. I really don't.
The only change they did was add the racing stripes on the freaking jersey.
No. You're talking about the shoulder stripes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always had those.
No, but they changed them a little bit to make them that way.
They did all that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Patriots, their stripes when they changed, when they did. Yeah, I hate that. I like the Colts all the way around. I'm sorry.
The Colts uniform has stayed the same pretty much.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've had little bitty changes and stencil, stuff like that, but.
Yeah.
When it comes to the name and the number and stuff, but
it's always been blue and white.
Since they moved the horseshoe from the back of the helmet to the side of the helmet in '56, it's always been for 56.
Well, that was a very good move on their part.
I think there were times when they went from one stripe to two stripes in the middle of the helmet.
Not that I know of. It's always been one. I see those colors, that royal blue and white, came from Dallas.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah. When the Dallas Texans folded and moved, ended up in Indianapolis or ended up in Baltimore, the colors those are called UCLA stripes on the shoulder, because the UCLA Bruins were the first ones to have those twin stripes, and that's what they call them. And basic uniform basically came from Dallas.
Huh.
Although they did have stripes around the sleeve, actually their first what 3 years, 4 years, 53 to 55 or 56, and then they moved them up to the UCLA stripes.
So, what do you think we're going to do in the draft, Jack? What's going to be our first round pick?
Oh God,
Who's it going to be? That's about how I feel. I have no clue.
Who's it going to be, or who do I don't know. I saw that I was strolling through my phone, and somehow I got on the freaking Colt thing, Colt wire. I have no idea how that even happened, and I saw where they were working out Will Levis, and they had a lot of good things to say about him, and yada 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 yada. So I don't know. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know. I know who I want, but I don't.
At one point or another, all 4 quarterbacks have been the favorite to be the Colts pick.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You're right. And that changes day to day.
Yeah. I remember the first Mel Kiper draft, the mock draft that he did, his first one out, and he said that the Texans were going to take. What he said, the Texans were going to take C.J. Stroud, and no, they were going to take Bryce Young, and then C.J. Stroud was going to come to us. But he said that Will Levis was actually, he thought, was a better quarterback of any of them. Yeah.
And he's
Like, really? Okay. But that's been months ago now. It's been a couple months ago.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think at this point, I mean, tomorrow, it'd be 3 weeks from tomorrow. Do you think Ballard, do you think he knows what he's going to do?
Do I think he knows what he's going to do?
No. I think he's got a plan. I think he's got probably contingency after contingency after contingency.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, he's like, this is what's going to happen.
Right. I to be honest with you, I don't see them, trading with the Cardinals to move up. I may be totally off base, but I just really don't see it.
Well, so you got this mock draft where the Panthers draft C.J. Stroud, Texans draft Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And then you got this mock where there's a trade that Tennessee moves up to get Anthony Richardson, which is stupid. First off, I could see him maybe trading up to get Will Levis, but not Anthony Richardson, because Anthony Richardson and, like you said, Malik Willis are basically the same damn player. And then with that happening, they have the Colts trading back to 7 with the Raiders because those 3 quarterbacks are gone.
And we've taken the cornerback.
And we took the best cornerback in the draft with Jalen Carter still on the board, which I'm okay with because cornerbacks in need right now.
Oh, yeah. Cornerbacks in need. Offensive linemen's in need.
But the thing is, I don't know how big I would not pick a guard in the top 10.
No, God, no. Well, once is enough.
Yeah.
Once is enough for that.
I don't want to pay our 2 highest paid offensive linemen both to be guards.
Once is enough. But I do believe Ballard will pick up a couple more free agents for offensive line depth. And he'll probably draft somebody in the later rounds for offensive line.
Yeah, I expect that.
Well, I mean, he admitted that he blew it last year on the offensive line. He admitted that.
He didn't get good enough talent, and he knew it.
Right. Yep.
He knew that he was like, well, we got 3 all pros there. We should
Right.
be good.
Right.
But I've been saying it since day one. The offensive line is only as good as your weakest freaking link.
And we had 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had broken links on the end and in the middle. What the hell? It reminded me back in like 2015 when we were like in the same situation. You didn't know where the pass rush was going to go hit Luck from. Was it going to come off the edge or was it going to come right up the middle? Because wherever it was coming at is where it was going to hit Luck, you know?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And personally, I'd rather pressure come off the edge than up the middle, because at least if the middle is secure, then the quarterback can step up out of the way of the edge.
Right.
But if it comes up the middle, there's nowhere for the quarterback to go.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you think we'll pick up a corner in free agency?
So,
There's still quite a few there.
Shaquille Griffith is one. I know Peters from Baltimore, is he still out there? Marcus Peters?
Hold on.
I know he's older, but
Give me a second. All right, Bradbury. No.
no, he signed.
He signed to Philly.
Yep.
Scrolling down. Byron Jones still available. Marcus Peters still available. Shaquille Griffin still available. Eli Apple's available. Kyle Fuller. Rock Ya-Sin. Flowers.
I wouldn't mind Rock coming back, but
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't know how that whole relationship is, how it ended. I don't know if he'd want to come back. I don't know. Money talk.
I don't think there'd be an issue. I don't think that was a business decision.
Oh, yeah.
He played well, and they knew they played well because it was a straight trade for trade. If you are a straight trade for an NFL starting pass rusher,
You're good.
yeah.
Yeah, so you've done pretty well.
I'm really surprised that Yannick hadn't been signed by somebody yet. But
It's that worry, I think, of 5 teams in 4 years.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what I keep hearing is that kind of a concern.
His production is not the worry, you know. So, as it seems like he can't stick around in one place, so they want to know what is the reason why you're not sticking around. You know,
He may end up coming back.
he may,
Resign him.
and I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I wouldn't either.
I
To
wouldn't
be honest with you, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
no, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't want to pay more than 12 a year for him, but
True.
you know,
I think by us signing that free agent tight end that we just signed, I think that kicked Mo Alley out the door. I don't think he'll be back.
he's still got 2 years on his contract though.
Something just, I know, but
I know.
something, why would they sign another tight end?
Seems like we got tight ends out the wazoo.
It seems like it.
Because we had what's his face was hurt last year, so
We got Jelani, we got Ogletree, we got Kylan Granson, we got Mo Alley Cox. Now we have this guy, that Pharaoh Brown. So
I didn't even know.
Texans.
he's from Cleveland, but he's a blocking tight end. That's what he is.
Oh, is he from Cleveland?
Yeah. He's pretty much a blocking tight end to kind of fill that role that Jack Doyle left.
Who could do something silly like catch, go along with blocking? What a concept!
He played for the Texans last year.
I thought I saw him in Texans uniform.
Texans and Browns. He's been bouncing back and forth with the Texans and the Browns for the last 3 years.
Really?
Really?
Ah, maybe he's got family in both. You know.
I knew I seen him in a Texans uniform. I didn't realize he played for the Browns until you said something.
Yeah, when I was scrolling through that Colts Wire thing, I saw all the pictures had him in a Texans uniform. So we need a reincarnation of John Mackey.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, really.
I'd take Dallas Clark right now or something.
He still should have been the first tight end in the Hall of Fame, not Mike Ditka. Sorry, Mike.
Jesus, he is a blocker. 6'6", 258.
Yeah, that's strictly what they said he is. He's a blocking tight end. So I just don't. I mean,
he's had his fair share of games that he started in the NFL.
I don't see us carrying 5 tight ends.
No. But how much was the contract though? You know, hold on. Nah, it's only a 1 year, $1 million. Oh no, that was with the Browns. I don't know what his contract was. It's probably not a ton.
Probably not.
He could probably, you know, I think he's got to earn his spot, you know,
right
on the team. I think that's more of a push for, you know, like you said, Mo Alley.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Shocking to me was that the NFL dropped the second cut and just made it one cut now. You
For
go
what?
from 90-some players to 53, one cut.
Really?
Oh, really? There's not 2 cuts anymore, huh?
Nope.
Holy sheep dip.
Huh. When do they do that?
Last week.
Wow.
During the owners' meeting.
Well, see, I told you I stayed off. You just I didn't know anything about
They
that.
went from 3 cuts to 1 cut. They've been doing 3 cuts for decades.
Yeah.
Decades. And then they went to 2 cuts 2 years ago, I think. And now they're down to 1 cut.
Wow.
So 1 cut and that's it, huh? Wow.
Wow. Yeah, really. Wow. It makes it harder to weed out players.
Now the owners, they didn't okay for like that emergency quarterback crap that San Francisco was trying to push through. Did they okay that or table that? I thought they tabled that where you could carry.
They were at a 1 cut during the 2018 and 2019 season.
They were?
Apparently.
I don't remember back that far. Let's talk the 60s, man.
I was going to say, you remember what the hell happened in the 60s back with the Colts.
not the 2019s. Dude. Good Lord. Yeah, I can remember what happened with the Colts in 2018, 2019, and, you know, I really don't like to think about it. 2018 wasn't bad.
28. No, we made the playoffs.
Because we got
Andrew Luck had comeback player of the year.
Yeah, we got Andrew back that year.
2019 was the year we lost
he
Andrew Luck.
He retired him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 is when he retired on my birthday, bastard.
Speaking of birthday, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I didn't know it was your birthday.
Yeah, well, I was quiet on Twitter. I really didn't say
Happy
much.
birthday, Lawrence.
Yeah,
And,
happy birthday, Lawrence.
And I was really quiet. The day before was my son's birthday, and he turned 18.
Right.
And he worked on his birthday. On his 18th birthday, he went to work. And I was like, that's the epitome of being an adult. You go into adulthood, and then you got to go to work on your birthday.
Right.
You know? But then on my birthday, they called and said, hey, we had a call off. You want to come in and work today? And He texted him back, today's my dad's birthday. I'm not coming in. I'm like, all right. I see how it is. But I was really quiet on Twitter on my birthday after announcing that it was my son's birthday the day before. And it went all the way through the whole day. All anyone had to do was go to my profile and you'd have seen the balloons and shit, you know.
I have
No one
discovered
said happy birthday.
I have discovered people don't read profiles.
I know.
They say they do, and then they ask you stupid questions. You're like, "Did you read my profile? It's in my profile, you moron."
Right.
They tell you they did. No, they didn't.
But yeah, it was odd. So like 12:30 in the morning yesterday, so a half hour past my birthday, I was like, well, this is the first time ever on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that post.
Yeah, no one said happy birthday on my birthday. And I thought that was interesting. I had like 100 people say happy birthday on Facebook, but then again, Facebook like tells everybody.
Yeah, it reminds you.
Yeah.
It's Lawrence's birthday.
Yeah.
As long as you have it in your profile, it'll remind everybody it's your friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, today's his birthday. Hell,
Would
I
you
don't
like
think
to
it's
say
good.
happy birthday to Lawrence? Would you like to post on his timeline?
Right.
That's what I need to do. Is go
And
back
then
to
I have to sit there for about an hour and a half and click like on everybody that said happy birthday.
I really need to go in and take my birthday off of my Facebook so it won't remind everybody in June my birthday. Because, like you said, you have to go back and click everybody. At least do that.
Yeah, at least click like, right?
Yeah, because even writing thank
they
you.
took the 15 seconds to type happy birthday and hit send.
Yep.
The least I could do is spend that 1 second to click like.
Click like.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just glad I don't have 4.5 million freaking followers.
You'd be busy to your next birthday.
I know, right?
But
Yeah, full-time job.
One of the things I discovered is probably about a quarter of my friends over the last several years have died. They're still on Facebook, you know.
Well, yeah, it doesn't go away.
But they're gone.
It doesn't go away, though.
You know, it's like, okay.
Then all of a sudden you see that one that's passed away, their account all of a sudden is active and they're selling Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. What the hell is mom doing here?
Mom's dead.
Mom's been gone for 10 years. What's going on here? Jeez.
Yeah, I've seen that where, I've had some people I know were gone,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're selling Bitcoin. And I'm like, okay.
I bet they
That
voted.
shit got hacked.
They voted too.
Your friends were sending you messages.
Right.
From the grave.
From the grave.
Damn, I'm going to try that. I'll take my laptop in the coffin with me. Okay.
How's the Wi-Fi in the graveyard, guys? I'm just curious.
Yes. Do you have decent Wi-Fi over here? So when I die, I can still chat.
If the Wi-Fi ain't good, I'm going to need you to run a landline.
Yeah.
All right.
Right to my coffin. Yes.
I'm going to have a real issue because I'll be ashes, So
I got a little port.
That just makes your response on the internet even more impressive. All right.
Yeah, if we get a response out of you,
ashes and my laptop will be this little wad of black plastic in the urn with me.
If we get a response out of you, I will be impressed. Jesus.
Right.
Oh shit.
You can't get a response out of me half the time now. Oh crap. Oh yeah.
So y'all saw where who was it? One of the ex defensive backs for the Patriots told Lamar Jackson, "You don't want to go to New England because you're out. You wouldn't."
Yeah, Sante Samuel.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sante Samuel. And then the response from Matt Judon, you know, saying, "Nah, dude, you can come here, blah blah blah." And then someone put a response underneath that that says, "Damn, you just sold, your quarterback under the bus." And he's like, "Nah, it just ain't gonna be like that,
Yeah, well, last couple of days they admitted they were shopping Mac Jones. So
Yep.
Did they really?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
of
where's
Patriots
Matt
fans
tonight?
right now think that the Patriots are all in on Lamar Jackson.
I thought
Really?
they were Mac Jones lovers up there.
Some are. You are either hard on the fence or hard on the other side. You're not on it.
Not a lot of fence sitters. Huh?
Nope, not a lot of fence sitters.
Well, I noticed last week that Matt only had his name Matt. He didn't say anything about the rest of his little.
That's just
it's like Colts fans with Harbaugh. Either you were a big Harbaugh lover or you thought that Harbaugh wasn't all that. So.
Yeah, well, I'm a Harbaugh lover.
Yeah,
me too.
Absolutely.
I just don't see Belichick and Lamar Jackson together either. But
I don't either. Belichick wouldn't know what to do with him. Not with the way he runs.
Not with Bill O'Brien as their OC.
Yeah, I think I actually watching the movie Any Given Sunday last night. Of course, saw Johnny Unitas too. Was the guy kind of reminds me of Bill Belichick. He's just been there too damn long. I think Bill needs to, I don't know, go fishing for a while.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if he decided to retire.
I don't think he's going to retire anytime soon.
I don't either, unfortunately.
He wouldn't know what to do.
He only knows football.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. What else would he do?
He's been a GM and a freaking coach, for so freaking long.
Yeah.
He needs to go out and find a hobby, damn it. Go out on his boat fishing.
The problem is his hobby will end up being scouting, or some crap. Yeah.
He definitely won't become part of the media, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a shock.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I'd probably make a movie out of him called Dark Hoodie.
That'd be so awesome.
Darth Vader's brother.
Just one time, I would love to see him come on one of those shows like NFL Sunday or something like that, or come on the Manning Brothers, Monday night cast, and him wear like a dark ass hoodie, come down over his
black
face.
out his face. That's funny.
Just to get the laughs, just for the LOLs,
I could see him doing that with Peyton. I could see that.
I could see him doing that. He laughs, believe it or not. He does laugh. I mean, he's not this evil guy that everybody puts out, but he does have a way of running things.
He hates the media, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know any player
that does like the media,
coach, that's like, yay, I get to talk to the media today.
It's a necessary evil, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Now, podcasts are a different thing. I know a lot of players that are excited about getting on podcasts because they get to talk about what the hell they want to talk about, you get through some of the interviews or whatnot, then you get to sit down and just, a lot of it's just talking, like that's, what Paris liked to do, when he was on, he just an outlet for him to let people know what's on his mind, and you're not being hammered by all these double-edged questions left and right.
Right. I didn't realize. Have you seen that podcast show that Michael Pittman has, where every so often he puts a video out there, like he was out there with his horses and showing them off and talking about them, and showed like a film when he first got drafted and the first day in the Colts facility. It's kind of
Well,
cool.
I think it's called Michael and Kiana.
Something like that, yeah. But it was cool. I mean, it's like you got to see that, behind the scenes of what he goes through on a day-to-day basis. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen it back before he was drafted. He was doing that.
Yeah.
Back when he was at USC, he was doing. He had that.
Yeah, the one with his
I was
brother.
afraid that his brother was going to ruin his career the way he was acting and talking, though. So, because I watched a few of those episodes, and he was making his brother out to be, his little brother was making Michael out to be like the next big shit, and everybody should bow to him and stuff like that. I'm like, dude,
don't do that.
Don't
put that up. Don't put that out there.
Oh, come on, man. Don't be Jackson Mahomes.
Oh,
Really?
jeez.
Be more like Billy Carter. Make your own beer and shut the hell up.
There you go.
But now I think the draft will go interestingly. I think the Colts will be very active after the draft. I think a lot of teams are. I think that's the whole idea of why there's so many free agents still sitting out there, is because they're waiting to see what happens in the draft.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of teams are. So I don't think Lamar Jackson gets traded for until either the day of or the day or
after.
Either he's traded the day of day one draft, during the draft, during the draft itself, he's traded.
Right. Yeah, we have a trade at number 4, Baltimore.
Yeah, or day 2, day 3 of the draft, you'll start hearing a lot of shit about teams contacting the Ravens,
Yep. And I think it'll probably be after day 1, because teams are going to wait to see who gets what, who goes where. And if they didn't get the quarterback they needed, then let's go to Lamar.
Say Anthony Richardson falls to like 7 or something like that, and then it's possible you'd hear Raiders trade with the Ravens, so that the Ravens go ahead and, at that point able to draft, the replacement quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you what, if pick 1 or 2 isn't if both those aren't a quarterback, that will screw up the whole draft, what everybody's thinking.
Yeah. And legitimately,
it could happen.
They shouldn't even be the number 1 and number 2.
No,
if you go by, because it is literally defensive lineman, cornerback, tight end, because there's a tight end I think that is really damn good, that's a top 5 overall player in this draft,
right?
Then the quarterback, you might get 1 or 2 quarterbacks in there. I think there's 2 quarterbacks that are in the top 10, but I don't think they sniff the top 3 or 4 spots when it comes to overall talent,
But because they're a quarterback, they're going to get pushed up.
Yep.
Yeah, I just can't imagine Carolina got up to the number 1 pick not to take
a quarterback. Yeah.
And if they took Bryce Young, I'd fall over. I really would. I don't
know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, because I do think it's C.J. Stroud.
I do.
I do.
I
But
think they had an idea in the back of their mind who they wanted when they made that trade.
oh yeah, definitely.
You're not going to give up what you gave up to get there unless you know.
Yeah. But then,
just to hear.
but then it came out. What, a week after the trade? It came out.
Yeah, they're willing to trade.
We're willing, if the offer is right, they'll trade out of the first spot.
Right.
You know, I'm like, well, yeah, they will if someone gives them 3 first-round picks. You know, and a couple seconds in a player. You know,
those comments were directed to the Texans and the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we took the number 1 spot. If you want it, you can come and get it.
It's good.
But it's going to cost you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it was more directed towards the Colts because I am 100% sure that Reich has eyes on certain Colts players that he wants on his team.
Oh, I'm sure. Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind he'd be like, I'll take Jonathan Taylor and DeForest Buckner off your hands.
Yeah. Dream on, Frank.
Well, I'm glad that they did not try to get up to number 1.
Right.
It'd be different if there was an Andrew Luck out there. It'd be different.
Yeah.
But there's just not. There's just not.
No.
And I don't even know
Trevor Lawrence or something like that. Yeah, fine. You know, I'll go for it. You know, you got a decent shot at him maybe making it in the NFL.
I don't even know about these kids next year. I don't watch college football that much. I don't know what the hell if they're any good. I just hear about everybody talking about them, but Caleb Williams and that Drake May or whatever.
Well, and then there's everybody talking about Arch. And I'm like, look.
He's got a few years to go.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to suck until 2027.
Right?
Oh.
It's like, Jesus criminy. We're going to go through 4 GMs and 6 head coaches by then.
That's a plan all along, damn it.
Yeah, right?
That's the plan all along. We're going to suck next year. We're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And then we're going to wait and get Arch. And, well, Edge's son's playing basketball, so we can't get him. So
T.Y.'s son. Screw it. We're waiting to get him.
2030. Here we go. T.Y.'s still out there. I wish they would have brought T.Y. back last year. I do.
I don't think he would have provided a whole lot for us.
Yeah, but just
I know, but
halfway through the season when we knew we sucked, get him in here, let him get his damn yard. So
at that point, he was just waiting for a playoff team to pick him up, and that's what happened.
Yep,
you know,
that's good.
He wanted a shot, then he got a shot.
And
the Cowboys are the Cowboys.
Sorry, Stefan.
That hurt to see him in a Cowboy uniform.
I believe
anybody but the Cowboys. Go to the Patriots. I could deal with that, but not the Cowboys.
I'm kind of rooting for the Giants right now with Paris and freaking Bobby over there.
Glow.
Yeah.
Already there.
It's the New York Colts.
Yeah.
Yep. And then out of nowhere, you hear the trade. Indianapolis Colts send 2 first-round picks and a player to the Giants, and we get Daniel.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
No.
Well, maybe as long as we can bring the OC there that came out of Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him along, too.
Oh.
I have seen where a lot of people think the best offseason move so far this year has been the Colts hiring Shane Steichen. That they said by far that is the best free agent move.
And yet
Best move in
everybody
the
was
offseason.
throwing huge. So many people were throwing huge fits. Of course, Shane Steichen was hired. He wasn't a person of color, and I'm like, dude.
Oh God.
He was obviously, I mean, I would have understood had it been Jeff Saturday if people would have came up with that,
Right.
Right.
But Steichen was one of the top head coaching candidates, period.
Exactly.
Top three in the entire NFL. He was a top 3 head coaching candidate.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and all three, well, Morris, I think, is the only one that didn't get it, right? That didn't get a head coaching job.
Yeah, yep, you're right. Yeah, because D'Amico did and Shane did. So,
Well, Bieniemy, but that's a can of worms.
that came out of left field too.
Yeah.
That wasn't, that first go around, nobody wanted to talk to him. But
then he's like, "Screw it, I'll be the offensive coordinator for this team." And if I still, and everybody's like, "Well, why should he have to prove? Because he's never made call. At least Steichen,
made the calls.
called the plays. The enemy's never called the plays, so I understand where a lot of people are hesitant on that.
Sure.
I've heard a lot of people say though he's a bad interview for some reason. He's
Yeah,
just
that too.
a bad interview.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll never know.
I don't like the fact that we're going to have to face D'Amico Ryan's teams. At least he's got the greatest offensive line in history now.
Shoot.
Where did he go? I don't even know where Ryan's went.
Houston.
Oh.
Along with a certain offensive lineman that the Colts should have never even had on their team.
Well, offensive line coach.
Yeah.
What lineman went there?
Hold on.
If you're talking about Pryor, he went to San Francisco.
Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure it's LaRaven, isn't it?
Oh, LaRaven Clark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Gee.
But Chris Strausser's gone, so damn it, it's going to be a great year next year. It can't get any worse.
Oh, never tempt worse. Never tempt worse.
Uh,
Bill Cosby said that a long time. Never tempt worse. You'd be amazed.
we just got to win 5 games. Our schedule's easier next year. I'm not expecting much out of them next year. I'm really not. This will be for the first season I can remember in a long time going into it where my expectations are way down here. So if they are up, if they play up this level, I'll be excited, be happy as hell.
My expectations for Jacksonville are up here.
Yeah.
My expectations last year, before Matt Ryan was signed, was way down here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when they signed Matt Ryan, it's like, damn,
It went up.
Yeah.
we got lucky. We got, how the hell they pull this off?
Yeah. And then, that could also happen here with the Colts, it could, some crap could happen and everybody's expectations, because everybody has such low expectations,
Yeah.
a big move would jump everybody's expectations through the damn roof.
I think you would get those high expectations if they tried to pull off a move for Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
And got him in here because you've already heard it. These damn media people, if the Colts would get Lamar, they're automatically Super Bowl contenders. No, that just means Lamar's going to be running 40 yards behind him in circles trying to get open to somebody because our offensive line is still the same. We don't.
I will say that our running game will improve dramatically with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, God, yes.
Because defenses, they already had to deal with Jonathan Taylor, having to deal with Jonathan Taylor and Lamar, and not being frozen until after the handoff is a situation that only could benefit the Colts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I think our running game would be the same and I think it might just be me, but if we got Anthony Richardson, that kid could come in. I mean, I could see him.
But
run.
I think Anthony Richardson, from what I understand, his biggest faults is that he doesn't understand NFL playbooks. That his football knowledge is crap.
Now, see, I haven't heard that. I've heard the exact opposite.
I've heard that it is crap.
Well,
they were shocked by how bad.
If that's the case, then we're not taking him. If that's the case, then we're not taking him.
They said that he's a smart guy, but he hasn't been coached. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. And that he is definitely someone that's going to take time.
Yeah,
but he's got all the tools. It's going to take time. What up, Shadow? That's what I hear. So, I mean, whoever takes him is looking for long term, and they need to have a guy ready to start week 1. That's not him, Right. And I think a lot of that had to do with why Gardner Minshew was signed.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Well, because we've all said Ballard is a traits guy.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, that's where Anthony Richardson just is off the charts.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So if you got Shane Steichen in your ear telling you, hey, I can work with this kid and I can make him, give me a couple years. Yeah, I can be Jalen 2.0, even better. We'll see.
You get him out to California to work with the quarterback guru out there for a little bit.
Yeah,
because a lot of from what I saw and what I've been seeing with AR is it's just a lot of times it's his footwork.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets his feet planted, he can basically drill a ball out of the stadium if he wants to.
Oh yeah.
Also, I understand he doesn't understand NFL defenses either. That's another problem.
Well, you got to think about it. This kid, 20 years old, he's played in 12 college games.
Yeah.
12.
And that's why his knowledge is so.
He does not have a quarterback coach at Florida. They did not have a quarterback coach at Florida. So, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, it's like drafting a tight end that used to be a quarterback, or a left tackle that used to be a tight end, and expected him to be a starter week 1.
So Jelani's going to be our quarterback.
Hey, that'd be interesting.
And Ryman's going to be our blocking tight end. Okay, go Colts.
Maybe that's why they bought this blocking tight end in, so they could he could play guard or play tackle.
All right. Yeah. See, I mean, that's.
It's kind of scary.
With us having Minshew now, and like say with Steichen, I can see the world blow up in a couple of years. With AR getting the coaching that he would need, and that really do. And there's nothing wrong with bringing a somebody in that's is going to need some coaching. I mean that.
No, absolutely.
Not when the possible upside is what it could be.
Let him play in the preseason. Let him play in the preseason. Let him learn.
But my problem is, here's the thing. Anyone that's drafted in the top 15, I feel like every one of those slots
should be starters.
That are drafted in the top 15 should be day 1 starters.
Yeah. It's hard to argue that. I agree.
I agree, but if unfortunately,
I know.
We fucked this up. I mean,
Yep.
we screwed this up. So we're in that position now where we got to take a quarterback. We just have to.
Well, we have to fill the quarterback position
Right.
with someone that's long term.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, that's whether that's drafting one or signing a Lamar or some crap like that. You
also have to remember too that AR is pretty young.
a little bit.
So a couple years of coaching, he's going to be up to what would have been his senior year in college.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he's coached in the NFL for a couple of years. It's a whole lot better than getting coached in most places in college.
There's a lot of people out there that say they don't like sitting a quarterback. You put Anthony Richardson in, starting him week 1 against NFL defenses with his limited knowledge of the quarterback position.
You're going to get him killed.
Yeah. And you're gonna shell shock him. You're gonna do to him what the Jets have done to all their quarterbacks for years.
Yeah.
His confidence will go to nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. If we do draft him, I don't expect him to start.
Mm-mm.
I would be pissed off, if they did actually. They know he's going to be a project, but you have some personnel in place that this could actually be done that way.
Exactly.
If they draft him
for a year,
yes,
get him to a season, that kind of
I'm
stuff.
good with sitting with Gardner Minshew for a year if I have to.
I am too.
I
am too.
Let Anthony come in and play in the preseason. Let him play in the preseason. Get snaps.
Let Anthony come in and play little, snaps here or there.
Like in red zone, where he can run and do what he's good at. Let him get that experience.
If we do something silly like get up 33 points at halftime, bring him in.
Well, we've done that before.
Well, geez.
It didn't work out so well.
So Tom and Jack, if by some weird ass chance we do draft AR-15 and the Indianapolis and he doesn't play a single snap all year.
Mm-hmm.
All year.
I'm good.
Week 17 rolls around. We're 16-0. Or week 18. We're 16-0.
Well,
what do you do?
Week 18 and we're 16-0. Start him.
You'd
start
start
a game. What the? You're 16-0. You're going to be 16-1. Come on. You've already probably got the number 1 seed locked up.
Going for that perfect record, though.
But here's the thing. I don't think Jim Irsay would allow it. Not after.
Not after 14-2.
Yeah, I think Jim Irsay would be like, hold the presses. I'm pulling rank here.
He might put Sam in. He might put Sam. He put Sam in. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Maybe. Like I said, I think Sam is a legitimate backup. From what I saw from him last year, I think he's a legitimate backup. I don't think he's the best backup by any means. I think he's a mid-range backup quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's a massive improvement from what I saw his rookie year.
Oh, definitely.
But I think Garner can come in next year and win us some games. I really do.
I don't think we're going to go 16-0.
No.
17-0.
No.
I'm just saying,
If we do that, then nobody will see that coming.
If we started off and ended up 10-6 by week 18, I'd be shocked if Gardner Minshew was the starting quarterback,
Right.
But I'm not going to say it's not possible. 10-6, I think Gardner's good enough to do that. We just got to make sure other holes on the team are filled too.
Filled up, yeah.
Well, I think I know 3 Pro Bowl linemen they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
They've got something to prove.
They heard shit all year last year
Yep.
the whole, and they earned that shit too.
Yep.
You
Oh,
know?
yes, they did. And you've got a running back that wants to get back and do what he did in 2021.
When, like, okay, Ryan Kelly, for instance, especially Ryan Kelly.
Right.
I think he's got the biggest chip on his shoulder because not only was everybody talking shit about him, they were ready to trade his ass.
Yep.
Then the Colts put him on the trade block officially.
Mm-hmm.
You know, said, hey, we're open to trading Ryan Kelly.
Yep.
That right there would put a burr, I think, in Ryan Kelly's, pants. So I think you're going to see a big
a big jump in Ryan Kelly.
Yeah.
And I think you're also, if Shaq is healthy, you're going to see the Shaq that we've never seen before.
Yeah, you're okay. So that too.
Has he ever played?
Jonathan Taylor's going to play his ass off.
Oh yeah,
because it's contract year.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Even if the Colts don't give him the big contract, he knows someone would. If he walks out there and leads the league again in rushing,
somebody will pay him.
Someone will give him $16 million a year.
No. Has Shaq ever played here healthy? Because I know that ankle and that back, all that.
Yeah, he's been dealing with that since his rookie season.
Yeah,
just like Quentin Nelson's been dealing with his back injury, back spasms and stuff like that since his rookie season, since college.
Right.
Yeah. So
if Shaq comes back fully healthy, 100%, watch out.
Yeah,
watch out. But our back end's looking pretty scary.
I mean, I'm okay with our safety group.
Yeah.
But, yeah, cornerbacks right now, our top outside corner is either Kenny Moore or Isaiah Rodgers.
That's it.
No offense to either of them, but they are not top 20 corners in the NFL.
No.
I mean, they have potential. Isaiah has potential. But and Kenny's one of the best slots in the league, but even Kenny had a down year last year, and a lot of people wanted his ass traded. Especially they were wanting him traded as soon as he said, "I'd like a bump in my pay."
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another one though. I think might come out and play with Burr up his ass.
Because this is a contract year for him too.
Exactly, and maybe that's what the Colts are banking on. That a
lot of contract years.
Yep. Didn't I see that they just like a couple of days ago they had to pay Quentin Nelson like $19 million something on his
first contract. Yeah, on his first. Yeah.
So he's a happy camper.
Oh, yeah. It's like Braden Smith on his first payday. He's like, this is awesome.
Oh shit! At least Quentin's not the highest paid guard anymore.
Nope,
he doesn't have that title.
Yeah, he won't have it. He won't even be the second highest paid after this year. There'll be somebody that gets even more than that. I'll guarantee it.
Well, that's what kind of cracks me up about this whole Lamar thing and everybody bitching about the contracts and all that. What do they think that Joe Burrow's going to want? What do you think Justin Herbert's going to want? What's Jalen Hurts going to want?
Here's the thing, though. Jalen, I could see him making some money. Joe, I could see him making some money. Justin Herbert, I don't think right now, as of right now, Justin Herbert does not have the leverage that those other two guys have.
No, he doesn't, because he has the team. That team has not performed. They've been
yet to win a playoff game.
Yeah, they've been there once, and they lost.
Daniel Jones, at least his first time walking into a playoff game, won that damn thing.
Right.
And that's why he got his contract, because he played really good during the season and then won a playoff game. So he got his contract.
But I don't see like Burrow. Cincinnati's always been labeled as cheap. But if they pay him and they pay Chase, they're not going to be able to keep Higgins. They're not going to be able to keep all those guys.
Hey, well, they came off some money. They're actually building an indoor facility for them now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Instead of being under a bridge. You know,
they got. That'll be interesting teams what happens to see next year, because they've got a lot of guys that their contracts are up.
I have a feeling. I really, really have a feeling that they're going to make a Burrow contract where it'll be where he can get things done with bonuses and things like that, or that kind of stuff, as opposed to a high cap number, and be able to keep, because he knows it's not just him. He knows the talent he has around him.
Right. Well, it's like you can't really say
much he can.
You can't really say that Cincinnati's been cheap as of late. I mean, they gave Joe Mixon $12 million a year.
No, lately they have paid, but I mean that's been on the knock on them for a long time.
Yeah,
long time.
They don't pay players. They just don't pay players.
Yeah. Well, I think they realize they've got something going now, and
right.
And I mean, I really kind of see Joe doing more of like what Brady would do, and take a lesser contract, but that would allow to keep the players around,
or at least a cap friendly deal.
Yeah, exactly.
You could do it.
To be, signing bonuses and that kind of stuff.
You could do a deal like Mahomes did.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
getting. $450 million over 10 years, where it's not that. There's so many ways to get around that crap.
It's you structure a deal, a contract deal, so that the initial deal, so that later on you can move money,
right?
If you need to. The Colts, notorious for that. They've never had to really move. They've never been in a position where they needed to move the money, though, until now. It's starting to get to that point, right? Where they might need to start moving some money. They could free up $50 million right now if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah, blink of
by restructuring.
Yeah,
and that's on top of the 22 that they have.
Yeah.
They could free up an additional $50 million. So.
Well, if the reports are true about what Lamar wants, he doesn't care about the guaranteed, like a fully guaranteed. He just wants more guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson did. Okay, so if you came to Lamar and say, okay, we'll give you a 7-year deal or whatever, and guarantee $240 million or what? I mean, would the Colts do that? Do you see them guaranteeing him, giving him more guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson?
I don't know. I don't know about all that. I could see them giving him a massive contract with a lot of guaranteed money up front.
Right.
I don't think there's a player in the NFL that's had their contract guaranteed past 3 years in the history of the NFL.
Except for
like Patrick Mahomes, he signed that 10-year contract,
right?
But there was an out after the first 3 years,
right?
And then each additional year after that, there was an out in that contract.
Right.
That's how they structure contracts anymore. Even what's his name? When he made history, Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Kirk, yeah.
When he signed that fully guaranteed contract, there was still an out after 3 years.
Yep.
So because the contract itself was guaranteed, but it was like all the guaranteed money was in the first 3 years.
Right.
So it's just. And then after that, you got roster bonuses,
Right. I mean, when I'm
guaranteed if you're there that year.
I'm sitting here thinking about, they talked to Irsay. Irsay said, the money is not a problem.
No.
So he's got money. Hell, he could sign him. He paid $239 million. Pay him, okay, we're going to give him $239 million as a signing bonus, and he's playing a contract for 4 years where he gets $100 a year, whatever. He could do something like that.
What's funny to me is this is what's funny. When Irsay made that statement, when Irsay said, you know, the reports came out that Jim Irsay has no problem paying that money. He's just not in the
Fully guaranteed.
In the thing of being a fully guaranteed. He doesn't want to get into that realm, right? And then literally 2 days later, Lamar Jackson comes out and says, I wasn't asking for a fully guaranteed contract.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that tells me some stuff, you know.
That's what I'm saying. These next 3 weeks are going to be really interesting.
Hold on 1 second. I think
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked on draft day when it's Colts time to pick. There's suddenly a trade with Baltimore.
They were talking. One of these analysts were on TV saying that's what he's predicting. The Colts on the fourth pick, Baltimore trades Lamar to the Colts.
The betting odds right now, the Colts are leading all betting odds in Vegas as being.
And that's kind of scary because Vegas usually knows what the hell's going on. Somehow, some way, they usually know what the hell's going on.
Over Baltimore. Baltimore. You know, they I think the Colts were like plus 150.
Yeah.
So that's pretty damn heavily favored. You know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. It would be interesting.
Okay, let's say
Baltimore would hate us even more now. It's like that tweet that I put out last week during the, because we talked about it.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay send over a Mayflower truck to help him move.
I don't think they allow Mayflower trucks in Baltimore anymore.
It's funny because after you said that last week, a couple days on Twitter, there were people put up memes with Mayflower trucks pulling up to Lamar's house, helping him move, all this. I'm like, oh God, that would be too damn funny, too funny. Absolutely. We'll send the Mayflower. We'll pick you up on the Mayflower. Let's say this. Let's say we get Lamar. Let's say we get Lamar. Do they need to make it a priority where they get him another outside weapon?
As a priority, probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think the Colts, and I think the GM and Frank Reich were both right. I think the Colts had weapons last year.
Right.
I think we had weapons at tight end. We had weapons at wide receiver. I think we had weapons at running back. The offensive line didn't perform.
And the quarterback couldn't get him the ball.
And yeah. So, I mean, when you have a tight end who is top 10 in the NFL in yards of separation, and then a wide receiver that was top 10 in the wide receivers in yards of separation, that, you got guys there that were getting open. Yeah. They just weren't getting the ball.
It's a hell of a lot better wide receiver group than what he had in Baltimore.
Now, to be fair, one of those guys ain't on the Colts no more.
Right.
True.
They did get a replacement for him. I don't think he's as good as Paris, but he's a guy that I wanted the Colts to get last year when he was a free agent last year before, Baltimore or before Buffalo re-signed him.
The thing about Isaiah is he's available. That's, he plays. He's durable.
Yeah.
And I think that was just the biggest thing with Paris. What, one season out of 5. I don't know.
Well, I mean, even the coaches and the GM were defending him the whole time, saying that they're fluke injuries.
Oh yeah.
And he proved it this past year that it was a fluke. He had fluke injuries. With the only player on the team, wide receiver room, that played every damn game. Which shocked a lot of people.
And that's exactly what I was hoping for him this last year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, before the season started, I said I'd be happy if he was able to play 15 games.
15 games, yeah.
But then
all of them.
Something must happen. I mean, we could have signed him for what the Giants paid for. I mean,
yeah, I said I expected Paris to get a contract between $6 and $8 million, and that's what he got from the Giants, $6.7 million.
Yeah, we could have paid
if he plays every game, But that's the deal, right? That it's incentive laden when it comes to you got to play every game. It's $100,000 per game, right there. That's $1.7 million right there. Yep. Just playing all year long, you get an extra $1.7 million.
Yeah.
Right.
If you lead the team in any stat, you get an additional blah.
Right.
If you reach this, or this, when it comes to yardage, receptions, or touchdowns, and there's so many incentive bases in Paris Campbell's contract. I feel like if he does play all 17 games, he could reach a lot of those.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Giants really didn't have that great receiver.
That was it.
Yeah. Yep.
Shepard was their best receiver.
Right.
And then the next best receiver they had on their team was the running back, Barkley.
Yeah. Right. Well, do you think then, do we draft another wide receiver this year?
Oh, that's possible, but I don't see it in the first couple rounds.
Or do we go into the season next year with Pierce, Pittman, and
McKenzie,
and Michael Strawn, and Doolin?
I could see that. And then freaking watch the Colts. We'll carry 4 tight ends next year. And we'll use 2 and 3 tight end sets a lot, especially if we have Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah, because he loves tight ends.
We're built as a team. We're built to be able to run a Lamar Jackson style offense.
We're
built that way. There's only a few teams out there that were built that way. Us, the Niners, the Ravens, teams like that. But, you ain't going into Buffalo, or, Arizona, not even Arizona, who has a scrambling quarterback, but they're not built that way to run.
Right.
You need a solid running back core with him to make him dangerous.
Right. You got it. I mean, that keeps the defense guessing. They don't know. They don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So,
and you need an offensive mind that's good enough to be able to, design those plays and get everybody on the same page. So,
and I could see Shane doing that. He did it. I mean, hell, he did it last year with Jalen.
Yeah, both.
He did it with Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'll never forget that play when they played us. Philly, it was like the Red Sea parted, and it's like, what the hell? I'm sitting there live watching that. It was like, oh, this is not going to be good.
Yeah, I remember. And then I asked my guy, I was like, what happened on that play? And he said, they never played that play the whole year. We did not expect it. We expected something completely different because of the lineup. And there it was.
Oh my God. It was like the Red Sea parted.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And from my angle sitting there in that stadium, it looked like just 2, plexiglass sheets came down that you couldn't see and just pushed everybody to the sides and whoop, right up the middle.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know. The more I listen to you, Lawrence, about this, I wouldn't be upset with Lamar.
No, I wouldn't either. Not in the league. People want to say, well, he's not a quarterback. He could throw the football fine.
Yes, he can.
He's got a cannon for an arm. He's pretty accurate. He's more accurate in the pocket than he is on the run. That's his problem. And he
Right.
likes to run.
Right.
You know, so that's an issue. When he is on the move, he's not as accurate. But you know,
Most quarterbacks
the
aren't.
most important thing for a quarterback is to be accurate from the pocket.
Yeah. And I think people forget too. My God, he's only 26. It's not like he's old. You're going to have him for another. You could have him for another 10 years.
And
So-
your playbook can morph through time as Lamar changes as a quarterback. Your playbook will change, you
Right.
know? So slowly through time, kind of the way, you know, the same way with Michael Vick, you know, when he was with the Eagles, you know. So, and then the Ravens.
Well, as long as his knee is healthy, I mean, that'd be my concern. As long as that knee is healthy.
Well, he's I'm sure he's fine. Because I mean he didn't play. So and it was a PCL, which you know.
Yeah, it's not an ACL.
No, or an MCL. It was a PCL, so you know. Well, guys, I got to get up early in the morning to do that thing for my dad's memorial at the park.
Text that lady at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm sure as hell will. I'll be up at 8, get my shower and all that, have my coffee in at 9 o'clock. Hell, maybe even before then, I'll be like, don't forget.
That's fine. I'm going to get off here too. I got things I got to do in the morning. So,
yep.
I'm going to go back and recompose my letter, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I got
notepad, Jack. Notepad.
Yeah, exactly.
We hung out for 2 hours. It was fun.
Yeah. Yep.
And like I said, now that the majority of everything is in my past, I can start looking forward now and start doing some more content. So,
well, the thing is, I mean, man, what happened? You're fine doing what you needed this, but hell, there's nothing really to talk about. It's all talking about for 2 weeks. It's all speculation. Who knows what the hell's going on? We don't. None of us do.
It's a guessing game.
Yep.
So,
all right, guys.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Y'all later.
Thanks for the reminder that it's Wednesday.